From Carolla One Studios in Glendale, California, this is the Adam Carolla Show. Adam's guest today, poet and songwriter Steven Kinich. Plus the news and trending topics with Elisha Krauss. And now, he'll never be on the Epstein list. Not because of the underage girl thing. He's just not good enough to fly private. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get on the mandate. You get it on now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. Love that about you. Elisha Krauss is joining me. She's got her weekly op-ed for the Washington Examiner. What's the subject of your last op-ed, Lisa? Sorry, Elisha.
That's okay. That's what they call me at Starbucks when they can't pronounce your name.
I know.
Lisa, cappuccino for Lisa. I talked about Mayor Bass's faux empathy towards illegal criminals versus, women and girls and minorities that are in and around the vicinity of MacArthur Park that have been assaulted and, harassed for years now. And
yes.
She has done shit about it.
Right.
But then ICE shows up and quote unquote terrorizes illegal immigrants, and she goes down there with crocodile tears. That was my Saturday op-ed.
Yeah, well, I guess we know where everyone stands now. My thing is your city essentially burnt to the ground with a once-in-a-generation fire that took out, thousands of structures and some of the most populated and affluent, and as well as, Altadena. Mm-hmm. Every group has been affected by this. And every time she takes to Twitter, it's something to do with ICE and fear and standing by the folks. And it's like, could you please say just one thing about the fucking fire, bitch? Something about permitting, something, an update or something.
Permitting is a huge one. What about the small businesses that are majority minority owned in and around MacArthur Park that are leaving now?
Right.
Those minorities don't matter. It's just the ones being rounded up by ICE.
It's so weird. And you know what? I'll tell everyone who's outraged about this stuff, but I do it all the time. Okay. The people that are outraged about this, in particular, as a group, would tend to like Canada and like Trudeau and like their policies. I know. But as a group, they're in the same group. Uh-huh. If you heard that Canada was building a wall between us, this country, and their country, they're going, we're building a border wall.
I'd be like, so what? Who cares?
So that's their country. They get to do what they want. Yeah,
didn't want to go up there anyway. It's really cold.
Right. But if you do, there's a border passing and you can go through it and you can have your passport or do whatever. Yeah. I've done plenty of work in Canada. You fly in, you have to go through customs.
They let you speak up there? Because they don't got the First Amendment like we do.
They want to, they got a lot of questions about what you're doing there and all. One of the funniest things, I was going through customs in Canada. They're dicks over there, by the way. Me and Jimmy were going there for the Man Show. This always I don't know why I tell this story once every 3 years, but go through Canada, they pull me out of line. They just go, they're taking the customs office and they just punish you,
Oh, man.
And they basically go, what are you doing here? And we were going there, Jimmy and I, to sell the Man Show to Canadian TV. That's all I remember.
Like CBN?
Yeah, I really don't. I don't. All I remember is the Man Show was going to Canada and we needed to show up there. So I had this itinerary of all the shows and we had to go by this affiliate and that station and they were going to pick us up in the morning and take us over this, the usual, the stuff everyone did. And I was told by everybody, look, when you're there, when you go through customs and they ask you what your business is, you just go vacation. Because if you tell them you're there for business, then that's when they really start grinding on you.
Oh, no.
So I was told 15 times by my manager at the time, it was Canadian, and Jimmy was too, you just say, what are you here for? Pleasure. See the sights. Go out to dinner.
Same answer you give when you're going to Vegas.
Right. Just for pleasure. But at least in that case, you mean it. So I said, pleasure. Just to look around, have a good time. And then they looked through my whole briefcase and they pull out the itinerary.
Oh, no.
And itinerary is like every 20 minutes, the car picks us up, takes us to another place. Car picks us up, takes us to another place.
Clearly, like, media related.
It's all, go to this station, go to that station, meet with this guy, do this show, do that show. So the guy goes, so you're just here for fun. What is this? What is this 8-page itinerary with, 3 days of 15 things packed into it?
This is where I would have been like, I'm an American and work is fun, son.
Work is fun. Yeah, I know.
I
you
like to
fucking
make
guys
money.
Want to go on
capitalism.
You want to go on holiday. Yeah, well, that would have caused more problems. So I said to the guy, I go, look, it looks like a lot of work to you, but I don't get paid for any of it. It's just appearances. You show up, you do the person's radio show, you do your promotion, but you don't get paid. So there's nothing to declare. I'm not getting paid. And they're worried you're going to get paid and not pay them.
Got it.
And he goes, well, it looks like a lot of work to me. And it looks like you mean you don't get paid. Look at this. Look at all you have to do. I go, listen, I pulled what I thought was the most famous Canadian at the time out of my ass. I go, Michael J. Fox, when he goes on the Tonight Show, he doesn't get paid. He's doing it for promotion. And he goes, who's Michael J. Fox? And I went, what? And now we're on another argument. Now we're having another separate Michael J.
Who
Fox.
was this guy?
He called himself a Canadian. My whole point is this. If Canada said, we want to build a wall, I'd go, okay, it's your country. Do what you want. And if some young guys from Indiana or Arkansas float over the border before the wall gets built and start working at a place making hockey pucks at a factory, and we come in, we're sending them back to Arkansas.
Driving Zamboni.
Driving Zambonis, servicing Zambonis, fulfilling part orders for Zambonis, custom painting Zambonis, all the myriad of jobs involved with that. But here's my whole point. As an American, I'd go, okay, some guy from Indiana ended up in Quebec. Yeah, send him back. It's your fucking country. You get to do what you want. And by the way, nobody here would have a problem with that. They wouldn't say that guy's got a right to pick pot in Quebec.
Mayor Bass would not be going to Vancouver and crying crocodile tears.
Right. So she is focused very closely on her constituent. It's a weird thing, which is your voter block, like your constituents are illegals who are from other countries who get who get all kinds of free shit from us. That's a weird constituency for a politician.
Well, because I think she has her sights set, much like Newsom does, her sights set on something more federally.
Yeah, I get it,
broad.
but it's a weird group. Like I mean, here's what I'm saying. As a politician, historically, you go like, who's your group? And they go, well, the Teamsters. That's my group. They go, all right, guys who drive trucks and they're union. Yeah, get them. You're gonna vote for me. What's your thing? Like
the teachers unions.
The teachers unions. I support the teachers union, so I can whatever. Okay. I get that. And what's your thing? I'm running on lower taxes. But fine. But you're running on supporting people that are breaking the law that are in this country illegally.
Especially when we can't even support the people, the unhoused, since that's the word we have to use now. Like the American citizen, mentally ill, drug-riddled, unhoused.
Yes.
In MacArthur Park, for example, that probably need to be put in a facility. Because they are not fit to take care of themselves, and they are attacking innocent people.
100%.
That are her actual voters.
This thing where they go, well, you can't tell these people. Listen, you can't tell anyone anything, but if you want to go to a public space and you want to defecate in it and you want to slam drugs, then yes, we can tell you what to do. You can't walk into my living room and tell me what to do, although you try, and there's versions of it. But what I'm saying is we're telling them what to do because they're in a public space doing what they're doing, and they're taking drugs. All right. So that dovetails nicely to, I sent out a tweet, and it just went nuts. It was been up for 2 hours, and it got to 1 million views in literally 2 hours. And I was going to say, if you reboot it, Andrew, it goes up like 25,000 every like four minutes or something. It just went.
There you go, over 1 million views.
It just went nuts.
We talked about this last time I was on. It's past the 6-month mark and nothing.
It's the reason why is because I woke up on Monday and I said, you know what? It's the Monday following the 6-month anniversary.
Yeah.
And Monday morning means work. That means work. And construction starts at either 7 or 8 a.m. I was out there at 10:30 in the morning. I scanned the whole coast. There's not one truck. There's not one drop of lumber. There's not guys surveying stuff. There's nobody measuring anything. There is no movement. Mm-hmm. Zero movement. Mm-hmm. And 6 months plus. So I have no fucking idea. But I would like Karen Bass to speak about this stuff. Yes. Yeah, I know. It's so weird and sad. On that note, fire note, that's interesting. I'm interested in the science of the rebuild and how it works. And I've been talking a lot about wood houses and wood framed houses, and the very handful that are getting rebuilt in the Palisades are just wood frame. They're just skinning them with plywood and 2x4s.
Which seems crazy.
It does seem crazy.
It's like you're asking for so a girlfriend that lost her home in Altadena, they were literally in the process of getting a new roof, and they were getting they were using like the fire retardant material roofing. It's the only thing that survived.
Oh, is that roof?
Car burned. House burned. Like some new construction burned. The new roofing was sitting in the pallets. The plastic was cinched off.
I thought it was on the roof. I was like, how did that work?
It hadn't been installed yet. And so now her thing is they love their community. They're trying to rebuild. It's incredibly hard and expensive to do so. But they're trying to tell their neighbors, like, hey, when we rebuild, let's rebuild with these like newer materials so this doesn't happen again. And you'd think that people in the Palisades would be doing the same.
Well, I'm going to modify some of my earlier thoughts, and I'll explain. The houses that I saw were wood framed, and then once you're done framing the roof rafters, and stud walls outside and everything, then you sheathe it with 1/2-inch plywood or OSB, which is oriented strand board, and you nail it off. So you skin it. Skin the whole house. Didn't used to do it that way, but you have to do it for earthquake now.
Okay.
And it's called shear walling. So the house is all wood and all framed. Then you skin the roof with plywood, and you skin the sides with plywood. And essentially now you have a house, and it looks like it's made out of plywood. Now, all of that is combustible. But you take a roof rafter. Well, if you can't get a spark inside of the attic, then...
Or the insulation, right, is really flammable, right?
No, probably not now.
Not as much?
But if you can't get fire in there, I mean, like I'm saying, your sofa's flammable, but if you can't get fire inside of your unit, then your sofa's fine. You know what I mean? So what they're going to do, I presume, is they're going to build a lot of these houses in conventional ways, which I don't agree with. I would go with steel or cement, but let's just say they do. They do. Then they use a non-combustible roof. And I met a guy on Saturday who was doing cement rafter tails, meaning the part of the house that's the problem is the part of the house that sticks out,
like the eave,
the fascia and the eaves, that stuff catches on fire and then it goes up and in. They can simulate all of that out of cement. Basically now looks like oak, they can do the wood grain and everything.
Like paint it or make it look like something else.
Well, picture the new trend of all these porcelain tiles that looks like a hardwood floor. Now it's tile, but it looks like wood.
Interesting.
So they're gonna do the fireproof roof. They're gonna do the rafter tails and the eaves and everything all out of that stuff, and then the side will be stucco and glass. So even though it's framed with combustible materials, they can't get the outside can't catch.
That makes sense, and that would be something that if I were a fan of the Coastal Commission, which I'm not, you would think that they'd be like, hey guys, if you're going to rebuild, we will give you the permit, but can you show us like how you're going to try to prevent fire in the future?
I shouldn't
But
I
then
shouldn't
a part
even
of me
think
is
this,
like,
but I'm assuming that's what they're going to do. But
it's not. Bureaucracy never makes the right decision there.
I agree with you. All right. So then, now there's this. I came up with a thought. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to work it out. I want to know where you're at with it.
Okay.
I was walking. I've been going up and down Pacific Coast highways. You can see quite a bit. I walk. I walk to the coffee shop.
Get your 10,000 steps in a day.
And there's two annoying groups on PCH. It is
only two.
I mean, there's subgroups, but these are the two main groups.
Uh-huh.
It's motorcycle guys just making as much fucking noise as humanly possible, up and down like and up and down.
20 over and splitting lanes.
Right. Fine. I used to split lanes. I used to ride, but it's louder and shit. I don't care.
Okay.
And by the way, there's subgroups of motorcycle guys. There's the Rice Rocket guys. They're the Harley guys. They're all loud, and I hate all of them. I just don't like them. And I know they're douchebags, those big Harley guys. They're always throwing revs. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Then, when I'm in the coffee shop, the cyclist guy comes in.
Oh, and does he have the little shorts on?
He's got the shorts, he's got the jersey, he's got the cleats. This guy's a pink headband. He's comical. Comic, central casting.
He's wearing like a racing shirt, and you're like, you've never done the Tour de France.
You're not sponsored by Campari. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have no sponsor. But anyway, they come walking in like they're sponsored.
Do they have their shoes on and they're like, click, click.
They love, click. I've realized they love the cleat because the cleat, they're working out. You know, these guys, they ride 100 miles a day and they just go home and they stare at their calves, you know. And the shoe with the cleat in it pushes the front of your foot up and it kind of flexes your calf. Yeah. So you get to walk around with your flexed calf everywhere. And this guy's just sitting there and I go, God, I fucking hate this guy. And there was some bitch the other day when I was driving through Century City was doing that thing where she was like in the middle lane doing like, I'm part of traffic too. It's like, bitch, you're holding everybody up.
It's also really dangerous. Like, do you have a death wish?
If I were her dad, I'd be like, do not fucking do this.
No.
I will pay you not to do this.
Yeah.
But they do that. Hey, I have just as much right to and they're dickheads. They're dickheads who think they're better than you, but then the motorcycle guys I fucking hate too. And then I started thinking about being in Salt Lake City a couple of months ago, and every 14-year-old's on a fucking zipper scooter, and they're just buzzing. They're buzzing right past. And then I realized, I think I hate everything on two wheels.
Oh.
I'm now angry at all two-wheelers.
What, you know the people I'm the most annoyed at? The ones in like the faux cars?
Yes.
It's like the two wheels up front and the one in the back.
Well, now we're getting to it.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, okay, I'm angry at everything on two wheels at this point. The cyclists are bugging the shit out of me. The motorcyclists are waking me up every fucking morning. They're obnoxious. These kids on these fucking scooters zipping down the sidewalk, going up your ass.
You're very,
the shit out of you.
very like get off my lawn vibes.
Yeah, get off my sidewalk. So I hate them.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, I hate the two-wheel people. And then I thought, well, what about the four-wheel people? And I was like, well, I'm going to do a car race this weekend. So I like the four-wheel people. That's good. I'm a four-wheel person. And then I thought, what about three-wheel? Like, no, don't like the three-wheel. Don't like the guys on the slingshots cranking up the shitty rap music and going around like the shit doesn't stink. I don't like three-wheel.
They're always like vaping, and then sometimes they have a helmet, sometimes they don't. And I'm like, are you in a car or on a motorcycle?
They don't know.
Pick one.
They have helmets or they have no helmets. It's catch as catch can. So then I started really trying to break it down. I was like, I'm pretty much done with all two wheels. That's right. I don't want anything to do with you and your two wheels.
No Segways, no scooters, no.
Two-wheel, if you want to do motocross and you want to ride out in the desert on your Honda 250, that's your fucking business.
It's a lot of fun, too.
And that's fun, and I appreciate it. And you're not waking me up in the morning. But the two-wheel, yes. Okay, the scooters, all that. Okay, I'm all done with all that. Also,
They're written off. You're done.
I don't know, how much transportation do you need? You know, you see like a 15-year-old and he's just buzzing by. It's like, just walk 3 fucking blocks and go to your stupid Starbucks and walk back. How much roll in your fat?
See, my husband and I had a conversation about this the other day because we saw a group of like teenage boys riding those like in a parking lot. And I was kind of annoyed at first. And then he brought up a good point. He's like, yeah, but so many people in their generation aren't driving, like they're not getting their driver's license.
No.
They're not doing anything.
No.
And so he's like, it's kind of good that they're doing that shit instead of other shit that they could be in. Right?
Yeah. It's
like I'd rather have them doing the scooter for 3 blocks to go get their coffee than joining MS-13 and tagging public property.
I don't know that it's just a binary decision. I don't know that it's have a scooter and terrorize me in Salt Lake City or join Trende Wagwa or whatever that fucking band is. I don't think it's binary. If it was binary, I would agree with you. I'd say definitely.
Okay.
But.
So 2 wheels done.
2 wheels out.
Racing vehicles fine.
4 wheels fine.
Okay.
Cars, trucks, me, cars.
Okay.
Race, good. So I like 4. 2's out. 3's out. I don't like 3. I hopped up to 6, which is those obnoxious guys who get the Mercedes G-Wagon with like the 6x thing. And I'm like, oh, fucking hate those guys. I fucking hate those guys. And no reason for it. It's not like they needed an extra axle in the back because they're going to Home Depot to pick up a bunch of concrete or something.
So you're fine with like a big old pickup truck with extra wheels? Like, you know, like where I'm from.
A dually.
Like a dually. Like where I'm from, like you get like cowboys that have a dually.
I have a dually.
Yeah.
I have a dually.
So you'll allow it?
Well, those wheels are sort of inner and outer next to each other. I'm still going to go with, like if you have a dually and it's 4-wheel drive, and you would go 4-wheeling in it. You wouldn't go 6-wheeling in it.
Got it.
So they get by.
They get a pass.
A technicality.
Okay.
Those guys work. They haul race cars. They work on construction sites. Dually's fine, but you're right. Technically, there's 2 rear wheels. I'm talking about a 3rd axle. I don't like those.
I saw one of those the other day. It was like somebody took like an old Expedition and they gave it 3 axles and then 6 doors.
Obnoxious, unnecessary. They'll do it in the stupid limo where they put the hot tub in the back. So I don't like any of those people. I really am thinking about the Mercedes G-Wagon, like 6x, whatever. It's like $550K. You've never been near a Home Depot on that thing. There's no job site. There's no nothing. You're just a total jack off. All right. So 6-wheel out.
Okay.
4-wheel good.
Okay.
3-wheel out.
Okay.
2-wheel out. I had to do some soul searching on 1 wheel.
Ooh.
I ride a unicycle.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah.
What?
Not for transportation, although I used to.
Wait, how did I not know this?
Well, evidently you've never seen a little boutique show on deep cable called Dancing with the Stars.
No, I did though. I didn't watch every episode when you're on.
Oh shit, Sherlock.
But wait a second. Did you come out to like
How dare you? No, what I did is I'm
going to YouTube this after
with
this.
the greatest dignity, dressed up like Zorro, the gay blade, and came out on a unicycle. Well, we have it. It's on the, put it on the thing somewhere.
I'm sorry. This is amazing. So you're okay with unicyclists?
I appreciate
is that what they're called?
Skill.
Unicyclists?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Balance, skill, coordination.
Okay.
Good. Doesn't make silent. And there's no stupid uniform for it where you can come bug me when you walk into the Starbucks.
Helmet or no helmet, though? Are you doing the helmet or no?
I would never do a helmet, but I suppose if there was a good reason, if there ever was a reason to wear a helmet, it would be on a unicycle.
I'm just imagining you like coming here. And
on
then
a
unicycle, and I feel like every time I see a unicycle in the wild, like unless they're on the boardwalk, they have to eventually stop at like a crosswalk, and they do this weird little right, where they're kind of like moving but not moving because you can't stop while you're waiting for the light to change.
I'd say I don't think most guys. I don't know. It's tough to stay in one place on a unicycle.
That's what I mean.
Most
and
people
they're doing this weird little like dance.
Most people would probably jump off it or step off it. Wait.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Some can do it.
I was laughing because I was envisioning you like coming to the studio.
I wish I could. I wish I could stay in one place and tread water for the amount of time it takes to have a light change because it's hard to stay in one place. It's easy to move.
Yes.
All right, we'll play you this, sorry, just so you can marvel.
Dancing the Pasadena.
Oh, that's a hard dance.
And his partner, Julianne Hough.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, this is the wrong music, but it doesn't really matter. It was the internet does this to you, doesn't it?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, babe. Get an eye full of the Ace Man on his unicycle and watch the dismount. Very graceful. In a circle, cape flying,
Wow.
and then a very...
Wow, you even spun it.
I spun it. All right.
Wow.
We don't have to watch the rest of the dance. So, I like one wheel. So, one wheel good.
I'm going to watch that at home.
Two wheel bad.
I'm going to show my kids.
Three wheel
This is who
bad.
Mommy saw today.
Four wheel good. Six wheel bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're up to 18 wheelers, you know.
Well, those are necessary.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good.
I prefer it when they stay in the right lane and don't like clog up the passing lane and stuff. But necessary and good for society.
Okay.
Good
All
for
right.
free trade, you know, those kinds of things.
All right. So we're simpatico.
Okay.
Other thing, I don't know if we have film of this, but it's an interesting thing. Well, it has to do with wheels.
Do men just have an obsession with like wheels?
I do.
Because I think, I have 3 girls and then a boy. He just turned 2.
Mm-hmm.
He is obsessed with any kind of wheel. Like any kind of wheel.
I am obsessed with wheels.
Stroller wheel, like bicycle wheel, cars, random cars, everywhere.
Yeah. You have no idea how into rims and tires I am.
So if you believe in reincarnation, like could you in a past life have been like the caveman that invented the wheel? Or do you think maybe it was one of your ancestors?
I'm pretty sure it was an uncle of mine. Yeah,
Great,
I
great,
love
great,
wheels
great.
and tires, and I know so much about them, and it's insane. And I wouldn't even bore you with what I know about wheels and tires.
It's interesting to me. I don't ever think about it unless I'm like, oh, my car just dinged that I might have a flat, and then I take it to the tire guy.
It's like a race car thing, but for me,
yeah.
but they all because it becomes a big part of your life because they tell you what kind of tires you can run and what the compounds are and stuff like that. But
and then you understand what it actually does to the mechanisms of the vehicle and how it operates. We're like, I don't get that.
well, if you're dealing with race car tires, it's pretty important what tire you have on your car. Mm-hmm. And they're super expensive. But anyway, I was thinking about this new trend with a new rim, as long as we're talking about rims this show. They're called floaters. They put them on like a Rolls Royce, and it looks like the car's never rolling because it's like weighted and it's balanced, and it essentially just rolls along. As if it's not rolling.
So it looks like it's just floating or something.
Yeah.
And the tires aren't moving.
Right, which
Yeah.
is interesting because and we'll show you a clip. It looks like a Rolls Royce is being just pushed out.
That's crazy.
It's rolling forward, but the rims look like they're standing still. It looks like the car. It looks like you have the brakes on and someone is pushing the car, dragging the car out. So that's fine. And I like it, and I think it's a step. I think it's a breakthrough for the black community. And the reason I say that is they love rims. Mm-hmm. Me and black people love rims. We love rims. I don't know what it is. We don't agree on everything, but we agree on our love of rims.
Uh-huh.
And in the past, Dawson, you can probably find the 1780s guy. This custom rims, I think, was, it reminds me of, I always like this guy. Anyway, so here's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. In the past, 20 years ago, the black man would use spinners.
I've seen those.
Spinners is the opposite of floaters.
So it's like as you're stopped, they're still
When you
going,
stop-
right? I've seen that. Yeah.
So floaters look like you're stopped when you're going.
Yeah.
And spinners look like you're going when you're stopped.
yeah.
And I said back then, that is a horrible idea for the black community.
Why?
Because cops are already nervous walking up to the car.
Oh.
And now, with the spinner, he looks down and he thinks the guy's taking off.
Oh.
Next thing you know, shots fired. Very dangerous. Not good for the law enforcement community and the black community who are already having issues with cops walking up to the car with the illegal tint on it. The guy's already on his last nerve. Floater makes sense. Floater, you could take off and the cop would still be standing there. He wouldn't know what was going on. As a matter of fact, I think that's why they invented them. So I endorse the floater. I'm against the spinner.
Okay.
And I think
all to help the black community.
All to help out the black community. But I think if you're in your Rolls Royce with the illegal tint on it with the floaters and the cop came walking up, you could just slowly roll away. He'd be staring at the rim going, everything's fine. Oh, we have a 1780s guy. Oh, no. This reminded me of 1780s guy. So big floater fan.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that out in the wild. I've seen it like on Instagram and stuff.
Also,
I have not seen it in the wild.
I saw it on whatever, Twitter, whatever. Also, spinners are more dangerous for the black community, but a much better band than the floaters. So when it comes to music, I am down with the spinners and not down with the floaters. But when it comes to law enforcement, the black community, I'm down with the floaters and not with the spinners.
Got it. Okay.
And 1 wheel good, 2 wheel bad, 3 wheel bad, 4 wheel good, 6 wheel bad. Okay.
Unless it's a dually.
Yeah. I never really think of them as 6 wheel, but it is a dually.
Okay, for the girl.
Yeah, that's
here,
a good. That's
and
a good,
maybe in the audience,
guy.
That's what I instantly went to because I feel like growing up in southeastern Oklahoma, like every cowboy had one.
Yeah, I got to have a dually because they're.
You got to put the big old round bale of hay on the back,
and they're It's good for hauling trailers.
Like horse trailers and hay trailers
need the dually.
Yep.
All right, here's Meeks. Here it is. Sorry.
And now Adam explains to 1780s guy. Custom rims.
So, even when this horseless carriage is not in motion, the wheels appear to keep spinning?
Yeah.
And why does this delight the Negro?
That was Adam Explains Custom Rims to 1780s guy.
But now we have floaters. That guy passed away, but he was a great guy.
You gonna redo that, but with the floaters?
We're going to have to reboot
I feel
1780s guy, but this time with floaters.
I could be 1780s girl. So you have to do extra explaining?
No, we need a Minuteman looking, we need that guy mixed with the founding father to try to explain where we went wrong with society.
I can't dress up like Betsy Ross and you can try to explain
It's just not going to work.
Okay.
120 life. All right. Let's get serious for a second. High blood pressure is the number 1 risk factor for mortality. Let that sink in. Yeah, number 1. So it's a stat that is going to make you sit up. 1 in 2 adults has high blood pressure. That's a coin flip. Could be you, could be me. Well, it is me because I've been checking and it's high. Now, 120 Life isn't just for high blood pressure. If you've got diabetes, listen up. Managing your blood pressure helps with that too. 2 birds, 1 stone. The stuff's legit. It's a powder. I drink it every day. Just mix it in with your water, whatever you're drinking. Over 750 doctors recommend 120 Life to help manage blood pressure naturally, not some fly-by-night operation. Plus, 120 Life actually tastes good. It's a blend of superfruit, juices, refreshing flavors, not like those other health drinks that taste like lawn clippings. I've been using mine. I've been on for about 3 weeks now, and I've seen the positive effects because I monitor my blood pressure. They're so confident, they're going to give you a risk-free trial. Try it out. You can try Pack Out. If your blood pressure doesn't improve or you just don't like it, they have a money-back guarantee, so nothing to lose. Right, Dawson?
For a limited time, try 120 Life and save 20% off. Just use the code ADAM at checkout at 120life.com. 120 Life offers a risk-free trial with a full refund if you don't see lower numbers in 2 weeks. Go to 120life.com and use the code ADAM to save 20%. There's nothing to lose except your high blood pressure numbers. Go to 120life.com and use the code ADAM to save 20% off. Remember, you must use code ADAM to get this special offer.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
All right. Do you have some news?
I do.
You want to get to?
I do have some news. So this is kind of fun, and we got some correlating video for this. So, by the way, my husband played like college soccer, and he said I pronounced, is it FIFA or FIFA?
I don't care.
FIFA.
It is FIFA.
Yeah.
The guys are telling me it's FIFA.
Yeah, it's FIFA.
So President Trump was at MetLife Stadium where Chelsea FC apparently trounced Paris's Saint-Germain FC in what the president aptly described as, quote, a bit of an upset. He's been friends with the FIFA president for a really long time, and so that's why he ended up going to the game and sitting with him. Melania looked like fabulous, as always, by the way. And he said he took great pleasure in watching the soccer boom in the United States and hopes that soon it will match the country's other standings on the world stage.
This country?
And then a reporter apparently asked him, hey, would you officially sign an executive order renaming soccer football in the United States? And he said, I think we could do that.
He would answer that to
Right?
any question.
But look at him. He stayed up on stage with Chelsea when they got the trophy.
Yeah, okay. Listen. I don't know.
He's just up there like, look at him. That's the most he's ever moved other than when he's done the Trump dance. He's so excited.
I don't know why people care about soccer. I hate soccer. People have been trying to get me to care about soccer for 50 years in this country. I don't give two shits about soccer. It's fine if you don't have football, but if you have football, then we don't need soccer. It's the
well, Trump is saying that maybe we should call it football. So then how are we gonna call it like American football versus?
I disagree. I don't want to call it football. I don't even like flag football to have the word football in it. It's not football. I hate soccer. It's a weird thing because the two biggest sports internationally are F1 and soccer.
Yep.
And F1, I'm like, yeah.
Ready to go.
I love
Sign me
F1. And then soccer's like, no. And it's weird because I don't know. It's like they got F1 right, they got soccer wrong. Soccer was invented to keep poor people busy without equipment. It's rich people play hockey because it costs. I was literally.
It costs so much money to play hockey. And by the way, it costs so much money now to play like baseball and stuff.
I was talking.
Like travel baseball.
Oh my God! I was talking to somebody on Saturday about playing hockey. He said I was going to play. I go, we didn't know anyone who played hockey. We couldn't play hockey. You couldn't play hockey. I go, how much are your skates? He goes, well, my skates are $1,400.
Holy
I go,
crap.
yeah, no. And he goes, but you could get them for $300. Yeah, but the foot would grow a size every year in your 9-year-old. Not to mention you have to have all your own equipment. So hockey, I'll bet you.
Smells.
Dawson or Andrew, you could look this up. I'll bet you if you took hockey nations versus soccer nations, there'll be a little. You would, in general, see that the hockey nations are much better nations than the soccer nations. The ones that have more corruption and crime and drug lords and honor killings and shit like that. No hockey. Hockey's going to be, it's all like Finland and Sweden and shit like that.
So I think that actually outside of the United States, the greatest like country that's giving us NHL players, like professional NHL players now, it used to be like Russians.
Yeah.
It's actually Finnish.
Interesting.
So there's more Finns.
Canada, Russia, us now, whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you said to me, look, Adam, there's a place you got to move to. And I'm not telling you anything about what this place is. I'm not telling you anything. It's kind of like said, there's a school. I want your kids to go to this elementary school. Okay. The closest Starbucks to that school has no code for the bathroom door. They're on the honor system. I'd go send the kids to that school because that means the neighborhood's great.
Yep.
Okay. Here's how you measure. Do you manufacture one or more high-quality automobiles from your country?
Oh.
Do you Do you have a variety of good sandwiches?
Key point we've talked
and
about.
do you export hockey players? You have a lot of young people playing hockey. I'd go, I'll fucking live there. Because you give me loves hockey. That means affluence, parents that care, raising kids, blah, 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 blah. You give me a large sandwich variety, and you give me manufacturers a number of high-end automobiles. I'll live in that country.
But I do have to say, I agree with Trump. He went on to tell an outlet that we were doing very badly as a country. Just imagine this in Trump voice that I'm not even going to try to imitate because it's hilarious and very Trump. When he was talking about football and or soccer and how it's growing here, quote, "We were doing very badly as a country in an incompetent administration," obviously referring to Biden. "And now we have a hot country. It's really hot. And I think the soccer is going to be hot here too." So I do have to say I agree with POTUS because I think that soccer players are generally hotter than other sports stars.
Well, I'll tell you why.
Like, they're just good looking.
I'll tell you why.
They got good stamina.
Whoa.
I'm married to one.
Oh.
Just saying.
Biggest ice hockey countries, Canada, United States, Russia, but they don't do a good car, Russia. Sweden, Finland, and the Czech Republic.
Interesting.
Full set of top gear for a kid now in hockey is between $2,000 and $3,000.
Holy crap. That's a used car.
You can get one soccer ball and keep an entire village occupied, an entire village of poor people occupied.
But I feel like I'm not going to poo-poo on that. Like, I think that's kind of a cool thing. Like, if you can keep them,
it's invented out of necessity.
I'd rather them do that than join Tren de Agua.
Well, there's only one or two choices. We're at a crossroads, people, here. No, you're right. All right. So there's that. I don't think Russians have a large sandwich variety either. I can't see that.
Most communist dictatorships.
Yeah,
do
not a full deli spread.
Not great.
Over there. All right. So screw soccer, but fine. But I want to be called football. And
it would be really confusing. I think that Trump obviously was just being very Trumpy. We can't have two different types of football. How are you going to differentiate?
I don't care about soccer, and I hate the USA women's soccer team. Those are the worst. Shrews in the world.
The faux feminists.
Oh God, they're the worst. What's her name?
Megan Rapinoe.
Rapinoe. Yeah, whatever. Fucking hate her. Go to Canada. I hate her.
Blame Canada. Go to Canada. So a judge in New York City has blocked the NYPD's attempt to force dozens of unqualified officers to resign after faulty hiring standards. Did you hear about this?
Well, there's an issue. There's going to be an issue as we go. Whether it's the fire department, the military, or the NYPD, or whatever police department, whatever PD, you go, look, all we have now is a bunch of fit white guys doing this job. And what we have over here is a bunch of fat people and women who also want to feel like they're represented with the community and the fire department or police department. So at some point they go, well, all right, just have the fat guy and the chick or the fat chick, just have them be able to do, you got to do 20 push-ups in 90 seconds or clear this, be able to climb an 8-foot fence or whatever it is.
Carry a, 150-pound man from a burning building.
Right. And then they go, well, the chicks and the fat people can't really do that. And then what I would say is, well, they should come back when they can. But that's not our new world order. The new world order goes, well, all right, well, what if we just lower the fence from 8 feet to 4 feet? And what if we did 10 push-ups in 90 seconds instead of 20 push-ups in 90? And before you know it, you have a bunch of fat chicks working at the police department. And then they're in fucking trouble. But you see this one in England who got punched in the face?
Well, their cops don't even carry weapons, right?
Mental meltdown.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just got a knuckle sandwich, baby. That happens.
It sucks.
It sucks, but it's part of this job. It comes with this territory. And, I used to box. Your husband was a hockey goon and enforcer. Is he the guy who beat the shit out of the guy on the golf course?
No, I said he was a soccer player. It was an argument to be pro.
It was a goon. The whole point is this. I'm used to being punched in the face. I got punched in the face a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Young guys get punched in the face. This woman, now look, don't get me wrong. Don't punch a cop. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But cops...
Don't punch women and don't punch cops, like
But
in that order, actually.
Cops being 130 pounds and having a mental breakdown because someone in a crowd punched them, that's not really what you want in a cop, is what I'm saying. This is her, by the way. And she's...
All right. Calm down, you guys.
I'm just saying, you got to get some Kleenex, you got to clean up, you got to get a ride to the hospital or whatever you got to do, but you can't have an entire mental breakdown.
It's also like, I don't care. I'm sure the percentage is much less, but that is kind of like a fight or flight kind of symptom.
Yeah.
That, you know, if you know people that are Delta Force or Navy SEALs or whatever, part of like going through really, really tough training for SWAT team and other things in the FBI is like, they want to see what your fight or flight reflex is. Mm-hmm. So male or female, we'd be laughing if it was a dude having a freak out like that. I think we kind of understand it differently when it's a woman. It's like we should be testing everyone for that reflex. And like, what do you do? If you get punched in the face, you punch them back.
Can I tell you how to do it without in the testing? Without punching anybody? With my Delta Force guys, cops are in the fight or flight, the reflex.
Yeah.
I mean this. I go, look. We're going on a hike. We're going on a jog today, fellas. I get the group, like 30 guys. And I go, we go chugging, right? And I go, okay, we're going to go up this street. We're going to turn right. And we're going to go through that tunnel. And when they're all chugging through the tunnel, when they get to the middle of the tunnel and they're just jogging, I come behind them in a 71 VW camper bus. And I do a little rev and a downshift, and I throw a backfire, an old school backfire at these guys right behind them, right before they can see me. And they're jogging, and you hear this huge pop, huge backfire right in the middle of the tunnel. Any cadet who flinches or hand flies up or ducks or anything, you're out. You're out. I need the detuned wiring. I need detuned. I don't need little yappy dog. I need big lab wiring, mellow wiring. She got punched in the face and she had an emotional meltdown. She's out.
Yeah. Like you need the adrenaline and like the fight to kick in.
I need that for pilots too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want them freaking out because of something, an indicator comes on and that dash.
So my dad was a pilot for 20 years, a military pilot for 20 and then corporate pilot for 20. And I often, I so judge flight crews.
Oh, good.
Now because of, and whenever I get like a snippy flight attendant, male or female, that seems like they're unwilling to do something or sacrifice themselves, I'm like, you signed up for the wrong job.
Yes.
Because if we have to emergency land in the Hudson.
Yes, Sully.
Right? Then you need to be able to get your shit together and help everybody else and not have a freak out.
I agree. So look, if you take a bunch of people, whether it's the fire department, the cockpit, or the police department, and you shove them in these positions or
where they don't belong.
Or it's Vice President of the United States, or it's
Supreme
the Supreme Court justices. You're gonna if you go, we need this, and you shove it.
Professors of feminine studies.
Right. Be prepared for dumb people. Sotomayor is dumb. She when she was
not as much as I think
Ketanji's dumber than she is, but Sotomayor is dumb too. She was like 10 minutes ago, she was pushing for everybody to be regulated and vaxxed. She wanted to force vaccinations on every American. That was her plan.
Forget the Constitution. And, the things she vowed to uphold.
Now, that's what, and then she went on to lay out a bunch of inaccurate information about kids being on ventilators and in hospitals. She's either stupid or she lies. But either way, you're going to get that. And then eventually, whether you're in the airplane or subject to some idiot's vax mandate, then you will be the recipient of it.
Yep.
Okay. That's not where I want to live.
Well, now this judge is saying that it wasn't fair. It wasn't very fair that these 30 cops and cadets that were hired between 2023 and 2024 were not meeting the qualifications.
Also,
and apparently they were told that they had 24 hours to resign or be fired because they didn't meet the qualifications. And all these people are suing the NYPD and saying, well, that's not fair because we thought we did.
Also,
by the way, the qualifications have been lowered consistently, like you said.
Well, also, if you're going to have cops get buckets of water dumped on their head and urine bottles tossed at them and every motherfucker's fighting and calling them pigs and cussing them out, you're not going to get a robust group of people trying to sign up for the next academy.
The numbers
You're going to
keep
get
going
junkies
down.
and desperate people. You're going to have to lower the standards because you're not going to get the cream of the crop because those people are going somewhere else.
It's down 14%.
Yes.
Recruitment for the NYPD is down 14%. By the way, here in LA, LAPD numbers are abysmal as well.
Wait till the communist takes over in New York. Wait till that douchebag takes over. Cops are just all going to leave. They're just going to
I mean, they
leave.
did it in Seattle. They did it in Portland.
Yeah.
They're doing it in LA.
Zoran Mandani. Wait till him and his fucking retarded dad show up and start making policies over there. The cops are just going to leave.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? By the way, forget about cop. Let's just say
People that want to be safe walking down the street.
Let's just say you're a welder. You got a trade. And somebody went, well, it's a bitch being a welder in Los Angeles because it's fucking, they hate you and they're so shitty to you and everyone drives by and flips you off and stuff like that. And it's dangerous. They push you. But in Indiana, they love welders. I'd go, well, fuck it. We're moving to Muncie.
Yep.
Because we're going to go somewhere where I can weld and people appreciate it and they like me.
Yep. Treat you with, I don't know, some dignity and respect.
And then Florida'd go like, hey, welders, $10,000 bonus to relocate from Los Angeles where they hate welders and New York where they hate welders. Come, we'll give you $10,000. We'll relocate you. I'd be pack your bags. We're going to Florida.
This happened during COVID, during the BLM riots and stuff. It happened a little bit after the Antifa, like Occupy Wall Street. Where liberal cities, like cops are like, I'm done dealing with this shit. And they're going to more red cities. But then it happened again, an influx of cops leaving places. We have a friend left Seattle. Was like, I could get spit on and punched in the face and I could like not retaliate or do anything. I couldn't cuff the guy. My hands were tied by the city and like law enforcement leadership. They moved to Phoenix.
Yeah.
And got a job with a small little, suburban town outside of Phoenix where they can actually enforce the law. Not abuse their power, but enforce the freaking law. More people are going to do it.
More people. Well, first off, that's just how it works. And that's how humans work.
Yeah.
You're just going to go somewhere. Like I said, welder sounds weird, but that's how welders would work. There'd be no welders. And then we'd have to go, well, look, we used to have a high standard to be certified as a welder in Los Angeles. Now we got this retarded kid with a blowtorch, but he's in because we can't fill these jobs. And then we get the British chick. By the way, that chick, look at, she weighed 125 pounds,
so
soaking
tiny.
wet. Okay.
Like, why are you dealing with a mob at an airport?
I completely and 100% reject this notion of we need cops or firemen or anybody to look like the community whatever. I don't need them to look like me at all. They can just be good.
I'd be curious to read some data on that because even in like the Giuliani administration with the broken windows theory, that helped turn New York City around and how I think that we need to do a lot of that here in LA and in other cities in the country. I do think that sometimes they did see positive things. Like if you sent a black cop to the black community in New York, they were more receptive to have that show of force there when it was somebody that looked like them broadly.
Oh, well, I do believe the blacks are that way. Whites are not.
Okay, so you're talking about like the vast majority, not like specific communities and the communities that need it the most.
Yeah.
The communities that like need the show of force from law enforcement, so there aren't drive-bys happening every single night.
Yes. All right, let's do what's next.
All right, we're gonna talk about girly things. A Birkin bag, like the OG, I think Birkin bag.
Yeah, I heard this story.
You heard about it because you have a daughter. That's why you heard.
No. I know the story, which is a model from the time. Maybe her name was Birkin, or the Birkin guy made it for the model.
It was Jane Birkin.
The model.
Yeah, she like made it famous.
Right, but that model was on a flight. And she was carrying her stuff in like a basket or something. And a guy who makes leather and bags and stuff said
For Hermès. Is that how you say
the
it?
guy from the family.
Yeah.
He said, why don't you have a nice purse? And then she said, I don't know. And he said, well, I'll make you a purse. And I guess in the 60s or early 70s. And he made her a Birkin bag. I mean, he made the
He was trying to impress a supermodel.
He was trying to get laid. Yeah. But we got a bag out of it.
Uh-huh. A bag that like every single celebrity has a bajillion versions of.
And so she has the serial number one prototype Birkin bag, or her bag with her name on it. And then I guess she just walked around and used it.
Yep. And beat it up.
Yeah.
According to the picture we have.
Yeah.
Stuffed, scratched, and stained, this black leather Birkin bag just sold for a whopping $10 million, becoming the most expensive handbag to ever sell at auction. And I guess it fell at a winning bid of $8.2 million. So with taxes and fees and all that fun stuff, it's over $10 million.
Yeah, the VIG is usually about 10%, but it could be more. So $8 million. If something's 8, you got to tack another $800,000 at least on there, but it might be 15. But yeah, so it comes in at $10 million.
Apparently, by the way, $10 million in 10-minute bidding war.
Oh, really?
Could you imagine? That's some really good ROI, man.
Yeah.
10 minutes at Sotheby's, you can make $10 million.
Well,
it was purchased by a private collector, an anonymous private collector.
I always say there was anonymous. There was anonymous because if you find out who it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because this guy's got some loser brother who's going to like come up to him and go, "Hey, man, I just read on my feed you spent $10 million for a used fucking purse. Could I borrow $40,000?" And he'd go, "No, you don't have $40,000. You just spent $10 million on a fucking purse."
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently the original Birkin has changed private hands more than once since Birkin herself sold it in 1994 to benefit AIDS research.
Wow.
Which, by the way, here she, I guess like once something's sold, it's sold, but she donated it to charity and now it's like private collectors making money off of it. Like I would kind of have a thorn in my side about that. Like I had something fancy that I donated and I wanted to help charity and then like 20 years later, 30 years later, somebody's like, "I'm going to go make $10 million off of this," I'd be slightly annoyed.
Well, let me break it down and figure it out. What'd she sell it for in 91? That's the part that should annoy you.
I don't know. It doesn't say what it sold for in 94.
Well, listen, if somebody, all right, let's just say, 94, sorry. Yeah. Let's just say I went to the AIDS auction. Okay?
Yeah.
And, in 94, and I just paid $500K for this bag.
Yeah.
Well, the AIDS auction still gets the $500K.
True.
And the person who donated it, the model, still knows that she created $500,000 worth of whatever. And then I sit on it for 30 years, 31 years. Then I get to sell it, but the auction still got their cash back in the day. I mean, that's what it could sell for.
Yeah. So, like, my capitalistic side agrees with that. But my judgmental, annoyed, I'd be like,
Well, I don't think the person bought it to sell it 31 years later. The person was probably had their heart.
It could have like changed hands a few times, and then some shitty stepkid wanted to sell it.
Probably, but I still not following your logic here.
Okay.
You go to the AIDS auction in 94 and you give them $500K.
Yeah.
For a bag.
Yeah.
And the AIDS auction got $500K for their bag. And then you bring the bag home and then you sit with it for 31 years.
Carry it around, scuff it up a little more.
Carry it around or use it. And then at some point you want to sell it.
Uh-huh.
I don't get.
No, I'm not saying it makes any sense. And I'm not even saying somebody is at fault. I'm just saying that if it were me and it were my donation to charity originally and then somebody else went and made a bajillion times more.
If you were the model.
If I'm Jane Birkin.
Yeah.
And that's my bag. Like the OG bag that was made for me.
I think
famous.
I think if they flipped it, but
instantly,
31 years later.
Well, it has changed hands more than once. So we don't know how frequently. Other bags, by the way, of hers or other Birkin bags, like a diamond encrusted crocodile bag, have gone for like over $500,000.
Well, look, this is the ladies' version of a baseball card or a comic book. And I frown on that as well.
Car.
No, because how dare you? Remember, 4 wheels, good.
4 wheels, good. Baseball card's bad.
A classic car can be used. Like the baseball card in a comic book, you can't touch. You know, the bag you could use, but you can't because it's worth $2 million. You can't leave.
I mean, celebrities that have 20 of them use them.
They're not worth millions
True. The
each.
ones that the Kardashians have like aren't worth like $10 million a pop.
If you go out, I'll go to Pebble Beach this year, and there'll be tens of millions of dollars worth of cars out there. Some cars will be worth $80 million or whatever, but the person will be driving it on the tour before they go to the beach, and they'll have their wife in it and whatever, their kids or whatever it is. And then I'll go to the track, and they'll have millions of dollars worth of cars there, but they're racing.
Yeah.
Like they're actually physically doing it.
They're enjoying the thing that they spent all that money on.
Yeah.
We're like a baseball card.
Well, I would also say that. All right, let's break this down as well. A baseball isn't inherently worth anything. It's worth about $4. And a baseball card is worth 30 cents, and a comic book's worth $1.50, and that bag is physically worth $19 worth of leather tooling on it, right? Or the cow or whatever.
Yeah.
But because of whatever, it is worth this
The process that it went through and who designed it and the name and the lore and all
Well,
that
this
stuff.
baseball, Babe Ruth hit out of the ballpark
Yep.
in 1927. So
Yep.
now it's worth. But and that's what I don't like about junky American cars being worth a lot versus cool Italian cars being worth a lot.
Oh, really? So you don't like a classic American car?
No.
Really?
No. American cars, classically, usually junk. People like them, but they're stupid, mainly. Like, okay, Steve McQueen's Mustang from Bullitt sold for like over $4 million. It's a piece of shit. Okay. But if you had the Ferrari California Spider from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that car was thousands and thousands of dollars when it was new.
Yeah.
That is not a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's got a 12-cylinder, 4-cam engine, probably not independent rear suspension.
I don't know what
but
any of those things mean.
Probably had disc brakes, not drum brakes. Okay, don't get me. I'm just saying.
So you wouldn't spend $10 million on a Birkin bag? Should take that off of my Christmas wish list from Adam.
Somebody spent at that auction, and we don't know
an anonymous buyer
for.
from Japan.
No. At the 94
you're saying at the
auction,
94 like AIDS benefit research.
somebody bought a Birkin bag in 94. Did they pay over $1 million for it? I don't think so.
No.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah, but the assumption based on other Birkins, like this is the OG Birkin, but like other Birkins more recently at auction have gone for under $1 million. So
Right.
I don't think that in 94, even the original one would have gone for $1 million.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think it's under $1 million.
Yeah.
So if somebody said, look, I got a plastic Ralph's bag. It says Ralph's on it. Okay?
Signed by Ralph.
Not
Hey,
anything.
Ralph.
It's just a Ralph's bag. Okay. Would you like to spend $872,000 for it, and in 30 years it'll be worth $10 million? Then you'd go, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then someone would go, why would you spend $872,000 for a Ralph's bag? Well, if it's going to be worth $10 million, then my kids will have a nice life with it.
Yeah.
So that's baseballs, baseball cards, and people do that all the time. They go, who's got $5 million to spend on a baseball from Babe Ruth? Well, if it's going to be worth $10 million in 14 years, then yeah.
But also, this person that spent $5 million on the baseball probably has like $500 million, so that's nothing for them.
That's usually not their last $5 million.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They've done it before and they can do it again.
All right. We're going to talk to Steven. Let's see if I can pronounce his last name. Kalinich. I think I said that right. Interesting guy. Been there, done that. Worked with some of the greats like Brian Wilson and all that back then. I want to know if he ever came across Charlie Manson. Part of the whole Laurel Canyon music scene in the 60s and all that. Elisha, we will give a plug to you, newsmakers on the Washington Examiner, and the op-ed's out. And look you up there. ElishaKrauss.com is the website.
Yep.
We'll do that. Talk to Steven right after this. Him's hair. All right, summer's here. It's hot out. Let's not let hair loss make you sweat even more. Hims is here. to help you regrow hair so you can see thicker, fuller hair in just 3 to 6 months. Be honest. Are you wearing that ball cap? Is that because you like your team, or are you just hiding that thinning hair? Hims offers prescription treatments, chews, oral meds, serums, sprays, all with ingredients that actually work. We're talking doctor-trusted stuff like finasteride and minoxidil, clinically proven to stop hair loss and regrow hair fast. It's all online. Fill out a quick intake form, connect with a medical provider, and find out what's right for you. Your treatment ships free straight to your door. Right, Dawson?
Start your free online visit today at hims.com/Adam. That's HIMS.com/Adam for your personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/Adam. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
Home title lock. All right, listen up. This isn't some far-off scam. This is happening right now. If you own a home, you need to hear this. In today's world, scammers are using AI and fake documents to steal home titles. One forged signature, a phony notary stamp, and suddenly your house isn't yours anymore. They can drain your equity or even sell your place out from under you. When's the last time you checked your home title? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I'm telling you about Home Title Lock. Use my promo code Adam at HometitleLock.com. Get a free title history report and a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. They'll monitor your title 24/7, send urgent alerts if anything changes, and if fraud happens, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home and your equity today, like I did. Home Title Lock. Do it now, right, Dawson?
Go to HometitleLock.com and use promo code Adam. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Adam. It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Yes, man. This is Apple, formerly of North Kakalaki. Now I'm in Tucson, Arizona. But listen, I was listening to the new Dropkick Murphys album, and they got a song on there called The Big Man. It's about Fletcher from Pennywise, and it mentions your name in the opening verse. That's right. You got to check it out. Awesome song, awesome album. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Oh, yeah. Dickie from the Bosstones told me that. He texted me that the other day. I got to text him back. I screwed that up. All right. Steven Kinich is here. He's 83 years young. He's been there. He's done that. Part of the Laurel Canyon music scene from back in the day.
Well, yeah, before that, but I was in that scene too, and I know a lot of those people still, some of them that are left.
Who was part of that Laurel Canyon scene from back in the day?
Well, when I started, to be honest with you, I didn't know anyone. I came from Binghamton, New York. I hitchhiked to California. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was kind of poetic type of soul. I was into the peace movement at that time, and somehow I was living at the Hollywood Y, and I met a guy named Jim Critchfield, who was assistant to the guy that created Roadrunner, Jay Ward. And
the cartoons.
Yeah, and he took me into the studio to meet Jay, and Jay I would sing for him, or not that I'm the greatest singer, and I would recite poems, and he said, you should meet Brian Wilson. He started a new record company, Brother Records. So
What year was this?
66 or 7. I'm not exactly accurate.
The Beach Boys were up and running at that point.
Yeah, and I was, the first album I was on was Friends, and I wrote Little Bird with Dennis, and Brian wrote the bridge, never took credit for it, and Be Still, which I got the idea from the Bible, be still and know that I'm God, but I made it more for everyday people, so if you don't believe in something, you still could learn to be still. It was before meditation. So that was and Brian signed me, even though I wasn't really a songwriter yet. I really didn't have any kind of career except that I would go around to clubs and maybe recite poetry.
So who was up in Laurel Canyon later on?
Later on, the Mamas and Papas. There was a group called Sons of Adam that played at the Whiskey a lot, around a little before the time of the Doors. And many of the Joni Mitchell and all those people, I met them later, but I wasn't in that initial batch there, but I knew a lot of them.
So Laurel Canyon, well, I lived on the other side of Laurel Canyon. There's the valley side of Laurel Canyon where it didn't attract many artists. It was more
and now
just,
they all live there, or a lot of them do.
A lot of comedians came here and rented apartments in North Hollywood, like Adam Sandler and guys like that. There was a lot of musicians and comedians. There used to be a lot of recording studios in North Hollywood. But all that as it may. So you're there with the Doors, the Mamas and the Papas, the Byrds, the Rascals.
Yeah, I went to school with Felix Cavalieri that was in the Rascals, Syracuse University. We weren't that close, but we had the same, you know how you have Big Brother in colleges and a big football school.
Rascals, who used to be the Young Rascals, are one of the most underrated bands, I would say. And so there's two bands that don't get their due. One is the Hollies and one is the Rascals. And the reason the Hollies and the Rascals, see, every U2 song sounds the same. So you always know it's the band U2. And you could say that way with the Red Hot Chili Peppers or the Beastie Boys or any shitty band. But the Rascals had so many different songs and the Hollies had so many different songs that you didn't know He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother and Long Tall Woman in a Black Dress were the same band because the songs sounded completely different. So in a way, they don't get their due.
I agree with you.
Oh,
a lot of bands don't get their due.
Oh, a lot of comedians don't get their due. A lot of artists, painters, poets, that's baked in.
And I remember going to the Whiskey all the time. You could go in there. Besides seeing the acts, you'd see like all the movie stars used to go to the Whiskey in those days. Like Anthony Quinn, you'd see sitting at a table or different people like that. And Johnny Rivers and the Doors had that long stay at the Whiskey. You probably are you young enough to remember that one or not?
I couldn't. No, I'm not young enough, or too old, or too young, or something. But also, I couldn't go anywhere because my parents were poor, and everyone was poor. And so while people go, oh, we'd go to these concerts or that concert or this concert, I couldn't go to any concerts. I didn't have money. I didn't even know how to buy the tickets. I wouldn't know how to get there, if I did buy the ticket. So, no, I missed the scene.
I was poor, but maybe you were poorer than me.
Well, we were poor and downtrodden, which is like, you can be poor, but let's just say you're poor, but your dad loves barbecue. You're going to eat barbecue.
That's it. That's it.
Or you're poor, but your dad loves Frank Sinatra or Elvis or something. You will go to a concert.
Or you find a way to do things.
You find a way.
You find a way that you have to be a bus. I did busboy, guest, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you ever...
We were poor, and my dad didn't like anything. So that meant no swinging by the Whiskey. But
okay,
worked with... did you ever come across Charles Manson in this whole era?
I met him when I was working with Dennis. I haven't always wanted to talk about it because I didn't want to give power to that, but it is something that exists.
He's dead now.
After I wrote Little Bird and Be Still on the Friends album one time at Dennis's house on Sunset, 14,400 Sunset Boulevard, I did pull in to the driveway one day. Dennis invited me over, and he was there with those girls, and I just had gotten married.
With the Manson girls?
Squeaky and some of them. This is way before any problems. And Dennis said, oh, I told him about you, Stevie. Maybe you want to write or do something with them. I said, I definitely do not.
The girls and Manson?
Mostly Manson, he wanted me. And he introduced me to him, and he came out of the shower. He had a towel around him, and he said, I'm Charlie, And my wife said immediately on the way home, she said, "That guy, there's something wrong with that guy." And I was a peace and love guy then. I learned the hard way, so I didn't see it as to the extreme. But she saw it instantly that they were mentally off.
How did you know that you didn't want to work with Charles Manson before that, though?
I got a gut. I got a lot of things with people. Gut level, I call it. And you, I'm sure you have that. I've heard you on the shows like that. Pretty gut level. You just get a feeling inside that is disruptive. And shortly after I broke my contract with the Beach Boys, shortly after that, I'm not saying that's the only reason, but I was feeling a negative energy, and they tried to keep me, and I broke it.
So there was like this story of Melinda Gates basically says, you know, the first time she saw her husband hanging out, Bill Gates at the time with Epstein, she said, "I had this feeling about this guy. I don't want any part of this guy," whatever. Women are usually more tuned in.
My wife was, for sure.
So she just saw Charles Manson once and was like, "This guy's bad news," because you could sort of see it in his eyes. It looked like a psycho.
I think that he had red, like I said, really red, bloodshot eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of my songs, that was a lyric, "You're looking at life through red, bloodshot eyes. You don't see the true colors and you don't see the skies." That was that was somebody like Charlie.
So you knew he was bad news, and this is several years before the whole LaBianca and Tate murders?
I would say a year or two before. I just had no clue about all that was going to go on. But I think I could have been with them, or I could have been at the house or whatever. I'm just feel the universe pulled me what seemed like a bad move, leaving the Beach Boys in my 20s, early 20s, and like starting out working at a gas station, doing everything just to survive, to get back in there.
How were the Beach Boys? I mean, I know the dad was pretty overbearing, right? I know Brian Wilson definitely had his issues later on.
I met the dad a few times. Dennis would take me out there. With me, he was fine, but you hear all the stories. But when I was there, he didn't show those kind of emotions, feelings to me. Only thing is, once he tried to offer me advance to if I would sign on his side for something, and I refused it.
So he wanted to cherry pick you or headhunt you from the Beach Boys?
Not necessarily, but he wanted me to sign something. I don't know if it was a publishing. They never really explained to me, but I had a gut level. I do a lot of gut level stuff. I imagine you do too. And I didn't, and I ended up not being able to get a job. And then later, a couple years later, I got A&M to sign me as a staff writer, and then Motown.
Who'd you work with at Motown?
I worked with Robert Gordy, Barry's brother, Jay Lowy. You probably knew him. Robert Gordy.
What band? What artist did you work with?
Randy Crawford. I wrote "Only Your Love." I wrote everything. Not the flip side of everything. I'm saying "Only Your Love Song Last" with the Hugh Masekela flugelhorn solo, and I wrote a song with Mary Wilson of the Supremes called "You Dance My Heart Around the Stars," and Gus Dudgeon produced it. Was Elton John's producer.
Hugh Masekela, is his
Sal
son?
Masekela's father.
I was going to say, the guy does the extreme sports?
Oh, no,
wow.
It's not the same guy. It's the one that played with all those people, beautiful flugel
His
horn
dad,
player.
right? I think it's his dad.
His dad was in sports?
No. His son. He has a son. His son has his name, and he does something.
Cool.
His dad is the guy you're talking about.
He was a lovely guy, too.
Yeah, flugelhorn. My dad played the flugelhorn.
It's a difficult instrument.
Oh, my dad made it look difficult. You'd think that,
but the sound can be amazing.
Same guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sal's his son. Sal does the extreme game stuff, and his dad is that guy. So you're at Motown. Were you there? Did you physically go there?
I would go into the office on Sunset when they moved to California, and we had offices in there. But a lot of times you'd write at the person's house, and I got to meet a lot of people, and I became good friends with Mary Wilson and Smokey. I worked with and did a couple things with him, and a lot of great people at Motown.
So how would it work? Like your work, I love Smokey Robinson, but you would go there, And you'd be working on the lyrics?
Yeah, or I'd give them a lyric and let them put a melody to it, or I'd go to their house. It wasn't always, they had a demo studio, which I didn't really care about that they'd do demos, and they'd put me with different people to work with.
You know, when you think about those songs, like one of my favorite pop songs of all time is Tears of a Clown.
Beautiful song.
Beautiful song.
Very touching.
It's touching, and when you hear the lyrics to it, they're pretty elaborate. You know, they're not just mailing it in.
No, he's a very gifted. I think he's like a street poet. Like a lot of people would criticize Mike Love because the everyday lyrics, the car, the hamburger stand out. But to me, that is more the everyday American than a lot of the esoteric stuff of the people that they liked a lot more.
Yeah.
I think that there's a certain element of what is your poetry? What are you elitist? Are you everyday poet? Do you care about what do you want to convey in your lyrics? I think they're all valid. It just depends what your viewpoint is.
Yeah. Like I said, yeah, if you break down Tears of a Clown, the song is great, but the lyrics are good.
It's amazing.
And they're touching. Homes.com. Some might say Homes.com is the best home shopping site. And maybe Homes.com's super comprehensive and transparent agent directory. Or maybe it's that Homes.com is the only site that always directly connects you with the listing agent who knows the home the best. Perhaps it's because Homes.com has the most in-depth neighborhood content of any home shopping site that's extensively researched to highlight the personality of each neighborhood. Well, I think it's all the above. That's why I go to Homes.com. Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth info they need to find the right home. Yeah. Homes.com. That's Homes.com. We've done your homework. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yeah, O'Reilly Auto Parts. You know the jingle. I don't know if I did it justice. Oh, O'Reilly. Yeah, it's a good tune. It's finger popping music, as they used to call it. They're in the business of keeping your car on the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and the parts knowledge you need for all your maintenance and repairs. Always use these guys. Always have used these guys. I can tell you where the locations are in my neighborhood. So, whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, they are friendly. So stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today, or you can visit us online at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. By the way, on the flip side of that, I was listening to Little Lover Boy on the 80 station coming in. Worst lyrics. Lover Boy's the worst. You want a piece of my heart? You got to start from the start. But every one of their songs is the junkiest. Them in Scandal. Shooting down the walls of heartache, bang, bang, I am the warrior. I mean, there's some songs are just insulting, and I don't think people are insulted enough by bad lyrics. I can't stand bad lyrics. They ruin a song for me.
If the music lets them dance in those days, the dance was a part of it. Can I get someone to dance?
I think most people are too dumb to appreciate good lyrics.
Well, speaking of someone who did great lyrics and was also a part of the Laurel Canyon Sound, Steve, I'm wondering if you ever hung out with Lowell George and Little Feat.
I knew him a little, but I never hung out with him. I never had that opportunity, that option. It would have been great. I love Little Feat.
Yeah, I don't know why. Speaking of Little Feat, I don't know why, but they had a comeback. And then they sort of came back sort of when the Grateful Dead had their comeback Touch of Grey thing. But I was just listening to Touch of Grey, and there was that sequence where they go, the cow's giving kerosene, the boy's 15, he can't read, or whatever it was. It was like this whole run-on, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's funny. And it was like smart, and it was interesting. Like it was we're on bad times, and here's all of it. And I love John Hyatt because John Hyatt
had a lot of incredible songs and maybe underrated. What a great songwriter.
100% underrated. Or I don't even know. See, should we call John Hyatt underrated or underappreciated? Or maybe it's both.
I would say both. I think a lot of people know him from my generation, but I don't know if all the newer people love him.
He's not underrated by anyone who's heard his stuff.
Probably, you're right.
Should have been played on the radio more than Loverboy or than U2.
Of course.
God, like junk.
And I was going to say...
Eagles. Heard another crappy Eagles song on the way here.
Lately, I've had the good fortune to work with sometime younger groups and younger people. And also, I got the fortune, John Tiven produced an album with... and Frank Black from the Pixies, Charles Thompson, did a couple of my lyrics. And
the Pixies.
Yeah, but he did it as Charles Thompson on my record called Scrambled Eggs, which is obviously a take on the market. It's more of a rock and roll record, Rolling Stones record, but I did a duet with him on that record.
I was driving last night, and the Pixies' "Here Comes Your Man" came on, and I thought,
they're fantastic.
This is a great pop song.
I think he's a great pop artist. Charles is one, and he's a great person.
From the Pixies.
Yeah.
Never met him, I don't think, but "Here Comes Your Man" is a great.
Yeah, he's
great pop
and
song.
Also the one. What was the one in Fight Club or that song that "Whatever Happened to My Mind"?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if you like that one, but I like.
Listen. I like anything that's interesting. I don't like boring songs, and that's why I don't like bad lyrics, and I don't like lazy songs where they just repeat the same crap. It's like for dumb people, essentially. It drives me nuts.
Are you open to a poetic type of lyric if you like it, or you're not, or you're more want rock and roll, or what do you feel in your body or your mind as you listen?
Well, I'll know it when I hear it, but when I hear, like, I like to sort of have a picture drawn in a weird way, like when John Hyatt says there was a life I was living through some cracked rear view where no future was given for a heart untrue. I go, oh, yeah, he's living his life looking behind him in a cracked rear view mirror. And I thought, that paints a picture, and I always like that kind of stuff.
And can you relate to, like, if a lyric is somewhat poetic but is powerful to you, do you like things like that sometime?
I don't know. I'll tell you the best lyric ever, I think. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
That's a great lyric, too.
Getting back to that. Wherever he left his hat was his home. And the greatest lyric, when he died, all he left us was alone. That's the greatest. If you want to know, if somebody said, tell me about your dad in 14 words, and someone just said that to you, you'd go, I know exactly who your dad is.
Well, I remember, and it's okay if it doesn't resonate with you, but I remember when I met Brian in 66 or whenever it was, and they pulled me into a room and he said, let me hear one of your poems. And the first one that he set music to was called The Magic Hand. It's on the World of Peace album. And one of the lyrics is at the end is, on the other side of death is life, and life is loving, and zombies who gather together in congregations and mass strangulations feel the bubble is bursting because their soul is thirsting for a touch of the hand, the magic hand, that with fingers finer than pure gold, fingers not made of flesh or bone, fingers that are all things, echo as a symbol in every land that itself, it is a part of every woman, every child, and every man, the magic hand.
That is definitely not a Loverboy lyric.
So it might not be your cup of tea, but that...
No, I like anything interesting, smart, There's a greatest... I'll tell you, let's try to figure out what are the greatest lyrics from pop songs. Now, you can't pick songs no one's heard of.
You can't... How about Bob Dylan?
You can pick a Bob Dylan song.
I like a lot of Bob Dylan lyrics, too. I
will,
like Leonard Cohen, too, a lot of Leonard's lyrics.
Well, I'm trying to think. There is a... all right, I'll try to figure this one out. I think... Now, the thing about lyrics is it's good if they rhyme. It's good if they're smart. Because
they don't always have to rhyme.
They don't have to rhyme. but it's good. It's good if they sort of flow. But the reason Papa's a Rolling Stone, and when he died, all he left us, and because you think he's going to say an old beat-up Chevy, but it says alone. It's a twist.
That's intentionally
it's
good.
Twist. You're right. So that's smart. Now there's, oh God, look up Victoria Williams.
I love her. Yeah.
I love her too. Who was, I think, connected to or dated one of the Jayhawk guys. I love the Jayhawks. Great lyrics as well. She had a song called Wild-Eyed Mary or Crazy Mary or whatever that Pearl Jam, I think Pearl Jam covered this song. Yeah. She was able to do a lyric in Crazy Mary where she spelled out the word loitering and rhymed it by spelling it out. There's a part where she goes down along the road, past the Parsons place, the old blue car we used to race, little country store with a sign tacked to the side said no Loite, or I can't read it from here, sorry, ing allowed. Underneath that sign always congregated quite a crowd.
That's great. That's a great.
That's a great.
Yeah,
I mean, that took some doing.
And each note had a syllable. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I'm curious if you have any thoughts on some modern day lyricists. Like I've always been fascinated by the lyrics of Adam Duritz in Counting Crows and Rob Thomas in Matchbox 20.
I like both of them, but I if it's okay, there's a young group that I've had the good fortune to do a couple of songs with, and I don't know if you guys have heard of them, the Lemon Twigs.
No, knew the Lemon Heads, but not the Lemon Twigs.
They're new young guys, and they followed a lot of the Beach Boy patterns, but I had the good fortune of doing a couple of songs with them this last year, and I do like the groups you mentioned. To me, that already seems like a long time, but maybe...
Yeah, it is. No, the new groups are old.
They're in their 20s, even these guys that maybe are...
The Lemon Twigs.
Yeah. And,
wow.
And on Brian's new album, I have 2 songs that I wrote the lyrics to. It may not be your cup of tea, but you can listen. But I try and want to find lyrics that will fit a good melody, but I want to make them a little bit different, even if they might be touching, but they might be harsh.
So you kind of a Bernie Taupin type. I mean, as far as I know, I mean, there's been other lyricists, but I just mean like he's probably the most famous. Doesn't really works with Elton John and does the lyrics.
I would say probably closer to just like a spoken word artist, like a Leonard Cohen or something like that. But with my rock and roll stuff, I've done duets with the guy from the Pixies and a couple other groups, and I don't know what you would say. I would say I'm more of a person that likes to do words, and I started maybe not even being a poet, but just wanting to create world peace. And my new album that I don't know if they sent you one or not.
No, I haven't got it. I love my life.
Yeah, I got one in my pocket, so I'll give you guys one.
Please.
And Todd and Willie produced it. Willie Aaron.
Todd who?
Todd.
We don't know everyone's
Lawrence.
last name.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't even know Todd Lawrence, but
yeah, he was an artist. Is an artist known. I'll always say his name wrong. They always crack me up. Milo Forman. No,
the director.
Sorry. No, Milo Binder. I'm sorry. I always say his name wrong, so I did it again on this show. But Milo Binder, he would open for Van Morrison people, and they produced this album. And one of the songs that I did on it's called "I Love My Life," and it's there's songs on it, and then every other one they made. I did a poetic, not a poem, but a reflection of one of my videos, and they picked the ones that were on there.
You mentioned off the air that your dad was a professional golfer.
Yeah, my dad was head pro of Brookline Country Club and other courses too, and he hosted a U.S. Riders Cup.
In the what years were these?
Oh my God, you're pinning me on. I'd have to look up the years. It's like 50s, 60s, something like that.
60s.
Way back.
Right. But so I was thinking of is golf is very different than poetry.
No. That's what I was going to tell you. The same rhythm. I used to love sports, but I was too short. I could really shoot baskets, and I loved baseball. And the whole feeling of connecting with a baseball, being super good in auto racing or boxing, I would write these totally different, like, you are the trigger, you activate the flow, you got more like motivational, so they could use it with boxing like that. So what I try to do is to bring to my spoken that kind of energy that I got from sports, like connecting, swishing a ball through the hoop. If that makes sense to you?
No, I do. What I'm saying, golf and spoken word are not connected per se, because there's nobody who golfs who also does poetry, and there's poets who golf. But I'm saying your dad, when somebody's son says, I want to be a poet, then a lot of dads might say, whoa, let's learn a trade or get your college degree.
I think both they did. They split up when I was fairly young.
Your parents.
Yeah.
But your dad's...
my dad wouldn't have liked it. He would have thought it soft.
No, I get it, but he's a professional golfer, which is a low percentage job.
Yeah.
So you would think, would understand another low percentage job, which is poet.
He did. I don't think he did, but I wasn't inside his mind, and I didn't get a chance to talk it all over with him. But I just remember how relevant sports were for me. I'm not saying everyone, and I've tried to explain it a few times, and I think that the unusual rhythms or the things that might come out, like you noticed in that song, could come out from having a mind that enjoys winning, that enjoys being a champion, that enjoys connecting with a ball, swishing it through a hoop, like I said, whatever you, even probably hockey. I'm not a great hockey player. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So I would say that's what I drew from
So your
sports.
dad not a fan of what you went into?
I don't think so.
Were you stopped talking to him, or he passed away?
No,
or?
he's passed away. But we didn't have a lot of communication after they split up.
Oh, your parents?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
And your mom have any thoughts about being a poet?
She liked it.
Oh, she liked it?
Yeah, she was like a hippie for her day.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if they did marijuana, but they smoked leaves before there was even marijuana, I think, whatever they could find. But she was like in that generation.
Simply Safe. Well, here's the deal. Most security systems, they wait until after someone breaks in. And by the way, it's too late by then. I use Simply Safe because it actually stops crime before it starts. Imagine that. A little prevention. Their Active Guard outdoor protection has these AI cameras and real people watching your place. If some creep is lurking around, the agents can talk to them, flip on lights, even call the cops right then, not after your stuff is gone. No contracts, no hidden fees, none of that nonsense. Over 4 million people trust Simply Safe. It's not just me. Plans start at about $1 a day. You get 60 days to try it out. They have a money-back guarantee. You got nothing to lose with Simply Safe, right, Dawson? Well, except for your stuff.
You can get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at simplysafe.com/Adam. Just head to simplysafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this year. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Yeah, so the Laurel Canyon scene, people just go down the hill, go to Sunset, turn right, and there'd be Gazzari's, and there'd be whiskey, and there'd be all these other clubs.
All kind of clubs to go dancing, to see these people, and the doors were like, the house act at the whiskey, and they were great. I had the good fortune of doing a few shows, mostly for people that were on hospice or different things with John Densmore, was a good friend of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a wonderful, wonderful artist and a credible guy.
What are some of the bands you remember from back in the day that we would have heard of where you would go, wow, those were great live, like the Doors?
The Doors were fantastic live, I thought. Johnny Rivers was quite good for a time. I don't know if you were into that thing. And like Queen, The Who.
Did you ever hang out with Crosby, Stills, and or Nash and Young?
I hung out with some of their kids, and I knew some of them when I worked with the Tribe a few times, but I wasn't really good friends with them. But Joni Mitchell, I had a couple like long hours and hours talks with her, and I talked a lot with a good friend of mine that has become a friend, that Cameron Crowe, the director, that knows a lot about music. He was a music journalist.
Oh, he married Hart, right? One of the Wilsons, right?
And now they're not together anymore, but he did marry, and she's lovely too. And
she's great.
Nancy's lovely. Her sister's lovely. I love them too.
Yeah, I just saw Cameron Crowe on the Jaws 50th anniversary documentary, which I would highly recommend.
I haven't seen it, but
it's good. Yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
He's one of the nicest guys, but he tells it like it is when he says almost famous, like all the people. I mean, it's almost, but you're not quite there, but you always wanted to be.
But you got to see Queen back in the day.
Yeah, and I've done a couple songs with Brian May. He's a wonderful guy too.
He seems nice. And then The Who. What was when you saw when Queen like the first time? Like, what was your takeaway?
I just was overwhelmed with Queen. Just like the first time I saw a Who concert, I went with my friend's daughter. She was 15, and it was amazing. And Earth, Wind, and Fire were great to see live at one of the basketball stadiums or something out here. You probably done that.
Well, later, the first concert I went to was the Cars. Because my friend,
they're great. Elliot
he's tickets for it, and drove, and I need someone to buy tickets and had a car and stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do it.
I like Elliot. I still hear from him once in a while. He's a great artist and great guy.
I will say this about the Cars: kind of a bad lyric band, but not Loverboy bad, but they're sort of bad. They're crap lyrics, but their songs are all interesting.
They're catchy.
Very
Some of them
interesting.
are catchy too.
They're catchy with they're just bad lyrics. She's so beautiful now. She doesn't wear her shoes. It's like, I don't even know what the fuck that means. Their lyrics are always shit. If you listen to the Cars, they're shitty lyrics, but they're good songs. They could have used you. The Cars could have used you.
I wish more people would.
And the songs are interesting, and I'll definitely say that. Loverboy has shitty lyrics and shitty songs. Their songs are boring. Their lyrics are bad. Everything is just pfft. Worst is probably Poison, I guess. There's some really bad hair bands out there.
Do you like any of the hip hop stuff, or not your type of thing?
Some of it's good, but not really. But good lyrics are good lyrics. I just hate the Beastie Boys, but other than that, I don't really have any connection to that world.
You're honest about it, at least. That's good.
Well, I don't like any band. I don't like any band that doesn't possess talent, I guess is.
I think that's a good way to put it. And a lot of them don't have much talent. A lot of them copy each other.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of the redundancies. And some people are heralded geniuses that you say, oh, my God, I want to throw up. I mean, there's all kind of things like that.
Yeah, I would say in a list of people I never need to hear ever again, I got the Eagles at the top. I got Fleetwood Mac somewhere's up there. John Cougar Mellencamp is pretty close to the top. I keep a list of songs.
You don't want to hear them again?
I don't want to hear any of it again. I don't want to hear any. I've lived in a small town. We're born in a small town. Everyone's got a small town. Yeah, you married a model. You moved to Manhattan. You did Rails of Coke. Okay. But anyway, it's something about a small town. I'll listen to John Hyde if I want good music about a small town, is what I'm saying. I want to hear any more about Jack and Diane. I don't want to hear those songs anymore. I don't want to hear another shitty Eagles song. I'm tired of it. I want to hear some good music.
Well, you've got a strong sense of your own opinion, and that's a good thing to have.
Well, my opinion is universally correct. That's the problem. It's just nobody understands it. The Eagles have way more shitty songs than they have good songs. And John Cougar Mellencamp, it's not interesting. We don't need John Cougar Mellencamp. It's for dumb people, but dumb people get angry when I tell them that. So that's how it works.
People try to defend their positions, and what I've learned, it's not always easy to follow, is that if you listen, even if you don't totally agree, you might learn something. And then if you want to respond, and if you don't want to respond, you don't.
Well, to me, it's not John Cougar Mellencamp's fault that the radio plays his shitty songs so often, or the Eagles' fault that the radio plays their shit. It's the program directors who play their shit over and over again. That's all.
Is it bring in revenue from the sponsors? Is that why they do it?
Dumb people like familiarity and repetition.
I could never. We were talking about it before today with another friend. The reason I'm glad I'm not going on the road and that way, even with my spoken word, if I did have something that was a huge hit or someone else did it, I'd rather have someone else do it. I wouldn't want to go out and do the same song, the same thing, even if it was a number one record. I want to go on to something new, something challenging. I didn't draw on a list of what I did. And I learned one thing from this project. It may be relevant to you, it may not. When I did The World of Peace with Brian, he was very encouraging, and I was very encouraged that by thinking peace and like that. But
Brian Wilson how was he when you recorded with him?
With me, he was wonderful and incredible. And I don't think I had a friend that was kinder and sweeter to me. I didn't see all that because I didn't do drugs, believe it or not. I just never got into it. I don't know. I had asthma or something. I had an excuse, but I never got into it. I was getting high on the poetry and what I was doing. But the one thing I learned from that period and in general about music, what you're talking about, is that I used to think world peace, it's a good thought. And the reason it took me 60 years to realize you can't just think good thoughts, you have to do actions in the world. You have to be active. That's why I did this new record. I realized it's not enough to write pretty lyrics or even poetic and be a showboat or whatever you are able to do. And
I agree. That's why I hate the song Imagine.
I can understand how you don't like it. I think that's one of the reasons I've probably written songs close to that, but maybe not that universally, because I always leave the window open that I learn now you have to translate into actions. You have to stop like evil and things like that. You have to do things in the world.
I agree, but you can't. You just imagine a world with no borders and no heaven and no possessions. Like your work's not done. You got to go figure out how to implement it.
Yeah, but also you have to implement to make a more peaceful world, and sometimes you have to stand up against the other forces.
I agree, but what you don't get to do is just sing about it.
No. Then, to say songs are like that are worthy of the kind of accolades they get. Actions are worthy that translate into something good.
I agree,
people.
and I don't know. It's first off, everyone I hate loves that song, so I know I hate you if you love that song. But it's not that interesting a song either. It's kind of a blowhardy song. I mean, I'm just angry because it's become an anthem for guys I don't like that much.
I like elements of it. It makes me feel certain things, but as I grow older, as I say, when I more realize that you have to have action, I think when I was younger, I just thought by thinking good thoughts, you could bring good into the world.
I come from those people.
Yeah,
they think a lot of good thoughts, but they don't do anything.
Yeah, and
at some point
you want to demand action.
I demand action. I want to know. I want to see a schematic of no possessions. I don't want to just imagine. I'd like to imagine no borders and no crime and no possessions either.
How about with the money you do have of sharing it more in ways that could help people that really need it?
Well, let's talk about that. I get taxed basically 50%. So I give 50% of my money away.
I get what you're saying.
To the government. So my feeling is like, if you make $10 million a year and you live in California and you're giving 5 of it to the government, then you are doing something, as opposed to working at Trader Joe's where you make 50 grand a year and you give 20 to the government.
Do you trust the government?
No, they
so they're not
away.
using the money the way you want it to. So
no.
Even though you're giving, so sometime you might want to give to something that you can personally contribute to. You don't have to agree, but that's
I agree.
Yeah.
I was at an event on Saturday, and a guy came up to me and he goes, "Hey, Adam, I remember you." And I said, where do you remember me from? He said, from the Catholic Big Brother program. And I said, oh, yeah. And he goes, he said, I dated the older sister of your Catholic little brother. And I said, oh, yeah, her. And we went through some of the names and back in the day. And then he said to me, hey, you did that before you were a celebrity. You just did it when you were poor, right? And I said, yeah. And he said, that's good job. And I thought, yeah, I feel good now. It wasn't a thing where I was trying to, a PR thing or anything like that.
You could use it that way if you wanted. All of a sudden, Adam gives $1 million to something, then it'd be a big write-up.
I did that shit when I was a civilian and I was poor, and I was fine. And I felt good about it for a second. But yeah, no more. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I understand that.
I just feel like I pay taxes, I play by the rules, and I'll try to help. I'll try to create jobs. That's what I will.
That's your way
try
of
to
doing
create
it.
jobs.
Yeah, that makes. I understand what you're saying.
And that'll be good. But I like that versus imagining things. I would create something.
I think you hit a point. But I think my point when I meant that is that when I thought imagine, I realized 60 years later maybe that I was off in my mind then thinking that could create it, but it can't.
It was.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree, and it's an interesting thing because it's a cyclical thing because the hippie movement or whatever you want to call it, beatnik or whatever, might come from those people. And they thought they could change things with good vibes. You know what I mean?
That's what I say. You can't change them with good vibes alone.
And we're now revisiting this where people are saying, look, everyone deserves to be treated with dignity and have a seat at the table, and everyone deserves world-class health care and an education, and no child should go to bed hungry. Yeah, I know, but now you got to do something. You can't just talk about it.
I agree with you on the action part. And is there a way that we all could get together and have more action? That's what I would like to know.
I agree. Steven, let me give a plug out to the new album. It's available as we speak. I Love My Life. And the one with Brian Wilson that got
A World of Peace Must Come
redone as well. You can find that where you find finer albums. Oh, thank you. Thanks for the CD. I am going to be at Zanies tomorrow in Rosemont, Illinois, doing stand-up, and then I'm all over the place. I'm going to be in the Milwaukee Pabst Theater coming up July 20th on a Sunday. Go to MacArthur for all the live shows there. Stephen, thanks for coming by. Interesting conversation.
God bless you, and thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. And until next time, it's time for Elisha Krauss and Steven Kinich and myself, Adam Carolla, saying Mahala.
Pick up your phone and leave us a voicemail. The number is 888-634-1744. And make sure you check out the Ace Man live on stage. Tickets available at adamcarolla.com.